welcome back to the Human versus Machine Team League, hosted by LetaBot. We're jumping right into the first replay, and the author of LetaBot, Martin Ryerkes, is with me tonight. Martin, how are you?
Hello, Nevda. How are you? So this is Pivot again. This is the bot that can play random. It's playing as Protoss against the Zerg player Artanis, who is also a C- player, but he is playing for Team Cele.
Team Cele. Okay, well, C- players is well. Last game we saw was the winners round 3. This is losers round 4, and the C- players seem to have a little bit of an edge over the AIs.
Yeah, most definitely. They have quite some good understanding of the game, and they can also keep up with the macro of the bots. Because the thing about bots is that they're usually quite good at unit production and getting that sort of stuff very efficient. But in terms of micromanagement, decision making, bots still seem to fall behind, especially against someone like a C- player compared to like a D+.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of a stretch. So we're at the first minute mark now, and Artanis is going for an overlord at 9 drones. At the other end of the map, you see the Protoss player going for an interesting placed island at 9 probes, so nothing out of the ordinary as yet.
Yeah, so that makes it perfect time to plug the sponsor of this tournament. It is Zachtronics Industries, and they create games that teach you how to program. So you don't program directly into these games. Instead, you've got some different concepts that you teach while playing these games. So, for example, you've got a game like Infinity Factory, where you're building assembly lines. And that will teach you about things like conditionals, like if there is a block here, then move it to that line, assembly line over there. You've got games like Space Cam, which is more on a molecular level, that teaches you more about multi-threaded, like doing 2 things simultaneously. And if you really get into it, you have TIS 100, which is more about assembly language style. That one is actually more programming oriented in the sense that it has an assembly line, an assembly style programming language.
Okay, well that's very hardcore.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. You can try out SpaceCam. There's a demo for it. So if you do that, you'll see if these kinds of programming games are your thing, to see if that will help you with learning how to program in a fun way. So you can definitely check it out on Steam, SpaceCam. There's a demo available. Or just go to the Zachtronics industry site, type it in your search engine, and well, there you go.
Well, we're all very grateful for them for sponsoring this tournament. If we go back to the game, we've got the human player going for a very nice build with, I think there's a standard for Zerg now. Fast expansion and a 3rd hatch somewhere around the ramp to the main base.
Yeah, that's pretty standard in both against Terrans and against Protoss if you play as Zerg. It's the standard 3-hatch build. It works quite good, especially considering that Protoss isn't going for some kind of like rush. Instead, Protoss is going for a standard 2-gate build, which is a little bit different than like a Forge Fast Expand, which Ximp does.
Yeah.
But 2 gates works as well versus Zerg.
Okay, we see 2 zealots out now, and I think that these Zerglings might try to run by, but now the zealots are trying to block the ramp, and oh no, they move out of position, but the Zerglings don't really have the balls to try and attack, and they go for the one zealot, and they kill it, and the other one, they kill that as well, and no, there you go, all the Zerglings now in the main base, and there are 2 more zealots, but I don't really think that having 7 and one zealot's not doing anything. All the probes are dying left and right, that's not good.
Yeah, this is why you usually go Forge Fast Expand, because that way you can deal with Zergling pressure a lot easier if you know how to block. But if you don't know how to block, like some bots, this one probably as well, then you're usually better off opening a little bit like this bot does, but you still got a micro.
Yeah, and this is not working on so many levels. Human player has killed off all the probes except 2. And now we've got one probe mining with 3 zealots, 4 zealots now guarding. Oh, and the last, oh god, only 2 probes left, and one is dying, and the other one has stopped mining. So now it's 4 zealots versus an ever-increasing number of zerglings. Oh god, and there is even a drone coming up. Will this be a mana hatchery in the main base of Protoss? That's pretty low to build a mana hatchery in the base of an AI. You can't really do that, can you? Oh no, and the zealots kill it off. Well, that's a good thing. But
yeah, this is pretty much GG. Yeah. So let's speed it up a little bit and we'll see what happens.
No more. Oh, there is one probe somewhere, but it's scouting the enemy base and it's seeing if things work. Or should we just call it GG, I think?
Yeah, just call it GG.
GG! It's a pity I can't do Korean. Cele tries it sometimes to call Plague. Really
yeah, but he's Asian, so...
Yeah, but it doesn't really sound Korean at all, because the MSL commentators, they're very, very adept at things like that.
Okay, the next one is against Overkill.
Yeah, going, loading, go. And I can make silly Korean-ish sounds while the game is playing. We've got Overkill as the purple Zerg in the top right, small map again, and we've got Artanis as Zerg this time, again at the bottom left playing teal.
Yep, this is ZVZ now, and in ZVZ it's usually defined by early aggression, so we'll see if Overkill is able to deal with it.
Yeah, it's well, interesting thing to see. Overkill's pretty good for an AI, but I haven't really seen it do much versus humans. Actually, the only bot I thought played well against humans was your bot, but unfortunately it's already been eliminated from this tournament.
Well, my bot's not the only one that can put up a fight against human players. As a matter of fact, I think that... Well, it depends on how you look at it, but my bot still can't defeat a C- player consistently. Well, it did defeat Fish Eye once with a Deep 6 build, of course,
yeah.
But those are more reliant on some very, very APM intensive hit and run strategies. It's of course not easy to implement, but once you know what the bot is doing, you can still hold it easily.
Yeah, you counter it. And they're not as flexible as human players are.
Yes, indeed. So that's one of the things, of course, that's up on the to-do list. But that one is still pretty large, so
yeah,
maybe one day.
Minor point. But if you are a D+ player, or about around D level, you can go to various websites, download these bots and play against them. And they are pretty good, so I still haven't been able to win versus TSCMU. And I couldn't get it to work for some reason, but KillerBot also kicks my ass in a very horrible way. That's not pretty.
Yeah, I've got a little bit more experience with playing StarCraft Boot War, and I've programmed bots myself, so I know the weaknesses of these bots. So I'm like more D, not even D+. I can take some games of D+ players. That's my level, and I can defeat these bots once I know how they work.
Okay. Oh, and
so at what time mark are you now?
Oh, I'm at 240. Got a couple of lings moving out, up, and these are human lings, or well, Zerglings of course, but of the human player Artanis, moving up to the natural of Overkill, and Overkill going for a quick, well, not very quick sunken, because and there are the lings of Overkill itself, so it's now 6 versus 6 lings, and Overkill starting the sunken colony, and the lings of Overkill arrive just in time, but yeah, there they go. They draw first blood and the human player gets out of the way.
That's pretty good defense by Overkill. So I would say that ZVZ is the best matchup for Overkill. That's where it shines really. And it's I can also spoil you that it doesn't go and bug out like in the previous cast we did.
Oh, yeah,
so this is going to be an interesting game.
We've got an extractor, so gas is being mined actually. Good. At the other end of the map though, we have got the lair finished for Artanis. And the Spire just starting, and at the other end, Lair just started for Overkill. So Overkill had better do something with his 2 bases and superior drone count. It's 13 versus 10. But it's not really committing to anything at the moment.
Well, you shouldn't though. In ZVZ, if you are the one with 2 hatcheries, you have to defend. You cannot just go out and push, because that will leave your base very vulnerable. Instead, you have to take the economic advantage that you have and just go and defend. And what he's doing right now, he's building an evolution chamber, and with that he can build spore colonies, and that can be used to hold off any Mutalisk attack.
Okay. The other end, Artena's going very all-inish with the 1 base, and then a very quick Spire of only 11 drones. If this fails, he is basically dead, right?
So right now Overkill has the economic advantage, and only with some very aggressive maneuvers will Artenas be able to stop it. So he has to be aggressive, he has to. So
drones versus 11. But first 3 mutas on the way for a human player.
But the spore colony is also on the way for the Overkill.
1 at the main and 1 at the natural. Very well timed. And I like that because Sija Shu is from China and a little bit closer to the Korean scene and brutal build orders than. Well, I'm a bit disappointed with
the Chinese scene.
Yeah, he's Chinese. I'm a bit.
Yeah, but the Chinese also have a bourgeois scene that's quite large still.
Yeah. Okay, so first one. Here come the mutas. 3 of them are going up to the Zerglings, and they attack the Zerglings, but meanwhile a lot of sunken colonies going down in the natural, but no spores yet.
Yeah, that's not a very good decision. So the initial decisions were pretty good from Overkill to make spore colonies, but you gotta make sure that your spore colonies cover your entire base. And that's something Overkill still has to work on, as you can see.
Yeah, because now the front is being broken down by 4 mutas, or have we got 4? Only 4. 11 drones, that's not really much of an economic build to do. Going for an expansion now probably, but very, very aggressive. And all the sunkers are in the front and the spore is in the back. You want to have a spore colony or 2 at the front as well, because once these sunkens are down, I think that these lings won't have any trouble left to get in there. No, and this sunken isn't going to cover anything anymore. Oh dear, and the first mutas of Overkill are on the way now, but I think they're going to be very, very late. Perhaps in conjunction with the spore colonies they can do anything. Some Zerglings help fend off the other Zerglings, but dying to the mutas, all of them.
Yes, Overkill now has to really, really have a very good defense, otherwise his natural will be broken completely.
Oh, the mutas move out, they only should fight under cover of the sunken, and now the mutas die to the superior flock of Artenas, while the Zerglings tear down the spore, and the spore is down. Natural's broken, some drones are being transferred, but it's not safe for them to do so.
Yeah, Overkill can still maybe, just maybe hold it in his main base, but I have my doubts.
No, I don't see it happening. He needs... Oh, and one non-muta of Artenas is suiciding itself on the spore, but Overkill needs another spore, really.
Yeah, and Artenas has expanded, so it's pretty much GG now, because Artenas now has the economic advantage and the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he's got 7 mutas versus only 1 of Overkill. Overkill's losing drones because it's transferring to an unsafe location. And more drones dying. We've got the links, we've got the mutas. And now even some overlords are dying, so with its drone supply, it has so little supply left. Another base for Overkill in the bottom right, but I can't really see doing much at this point. There you go, more mutas for the human player. Now the last spore is down and all the drones die. Being started, but no.
Okay, I'm gonna call it a GG here and go to the next game, okay?
Yeah, good. GG. GG!
And that's against IronBot, the more later version.
Yeah. Go.
It was just played more recently.
Oh, that's good. So IronBot has the yellow Terran in the top bottom left, and as a human player we've got Artanas as the white Zerg.
This is IronBot. It's usually at the top 3 of the SSAI ladder. You can usually find the IronBot at the top 3 there. And I'm actually not sure how good it is, TVZ, but on TVT it's quite decent. Although my bot of course wins at it most of the time. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of an interesting situation in Terran land in the AI community at this moment. Because you're working hard on your bot and your thesis, is it finished yet?
Yeah, I still have to write most of it, but for the most part it's finished. You just gotta write you gotta write the results down and write down the conclusions and that sort of thing.
All the investigations and the experiments are done.
Yeah, it's almost as good as... Well, I'm still, of course, waiting for some of the results on the SSAI ladder. You might be able to see the LetaBot's different versions playing. So that still has to finish completely before I can wrap up my thesis.
But we've got you, who are working hard on your Terran bot, and we've got Iron, bigger than Matvejevic, working hard at it from France, and from Bulgaria we've got Krasimir Krastev, with his bot Crazio, who's updating almost every other day.
Yeah, he works quite a lot of it well, yeah. He's got TVT, Crazio is pretty damn good, yeah. Even my bot doesn't stand a chance yet against his TVT.
No,
but
so solid, it doesn't make any mistakes.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but...
Okay, well, AI-wise, it's very... They're almost...
Against other AIs, its TVT is pretty good, but you still haven't seen my Monte Carlo research yet, and that one with the tank lines...
For years,
yeah.
I want to see it first.
Well, you've already seen the heuristic-based influence maps in action, and that one was already quite good. Yes. Let me check actually how high my bot currently is.
Yeah, it's... Whoa, killer bot is at 100% at the moment. Wow.
Well, my bot was at the top just a day ago or so. But anyway, in terms of the game, IronBot is going for standard 1-Rex gas, so most likely going to be some mech builds with factories, of course.
Yep. And at the Zerg end of things, we've got the spawning crew finishing up and going for a 3-hatch build, which more Zerg should implement in AI matches, I think, because it's so much more versatile than just doing 4 crew into something, or 10 into something. It's not.
You have to keep in mind though that you gotta be able to defend against a barracks supply and a bunker rush and all those things. So that's why you can't always go 3-hatch or something like that. Whereas you can actually always go like 1-Rex gas. If you go as a Terran, 1-Rex gas, even against a random player, you'll still do pretty decently in all matchups.
Well, I don't know too much about that. I'm an awful brute war player, and if I play humans, I get beaten by 3-year-olds, so I won't argue with you there. We see the first 4 Zergs moving out at the 3.5-minute mark. And at the Terran end, we see 1 Marine, factory just starting, and another factory in the top left. So let's hope that the Vulture will be on time to stop these 4 Marines, but otherwise it's going to be a bloodbath again.
No, I have pretty good confidence in the Vulture micro of IronBot.
There comes the first Vulture. The first Marine, it moves out of the way and it dies. And the Vulture now goes to town on these Zerglings, but it's not really as aggressive as it could be. And it's microing 1 kill, taking some damage. Oh, and it gets contained, but it will. Oh, 5 HP left. Oh, can it micro? No, the Zergling wins. And now there are some SCVs coming off the line to help kill it. But the first Vulture lost to the first 4 Marines. That should be a victory for Zerg, right?
No, not precisely. It's not the best micro in the world, of course, but right now IronBot is still in a pretty decent position. He's going for a very aggressive 2-factory build, So that might not have been the best choice built otherwise. Usually you build one factory and then you go for an expansion. But it's not the end of the world, so to speak. You can still, if you still fast expand right now and put up a good contain on the Zerg, you can go pretty far in this game.
Yeah. And as you see, we've got a lair finished and the Hydra Den, and there should be an evo chase. Lurker aspect has just started. And Iron is going for the contain with vultures, taking some damage from a sunken. I don't know why is it doing that. It should know where the sunken is, right? It should.
No, it's trying to take some. It's trying to snipe a Zergling. That's just within range. As you might be able to see, one of these Zerglings here has like 19 HP. It's trying to snipe that Zergling, but that's maybe not the best decision.
No. And then, of course, another trademark of Iron is the SCV repairing the vultures on the front line. So that's pretty good. A couple of Hydras finishing up though, so that would be interesting to see how these vultures do against Hydras without mines. And do we see any other units coming up? We see Vulture Speed researching and Siege Mode and a first Siege Tank. So if you've got a handful of Vultures and a Siege Tank, you've got a pretty good contain versus Hydras.
Yeah, it's, if he places the spider mines correctly and is able to make sure that the Overlord stays somewhat out of range, he'll be able to put up a pretty good contain. As long as he is able to...
Mines! Oh yeah, 3 Hydras at once, that's glorious, good. Sorry for being a little bit biased, but of course I'm here for the AI players, that should be clear by now.
Well, this reminds me a little bit of the game on Heartbreak Ridge with Up Magic against another Zerg player, I'm not sure which, but Up Magic also went for vultures with spider mines, and he was able to get like 9 Hydralisks because they were on a move command, so because of that they didn't shoot the spider mine coming out, and because of that like a huge group of Hydralisks died due to one spider mine.
Oh, and the first vulture.
And this reminds me of that, yeah.
Taking some damage but getting down into the ground. And Iron taking a second base, but very, very late. Oh, now the first tank is at the front, and it will siege up, and now Zerg is in a bit of a quandary, because we've got a turret, we've got mines, we've got the vultures, and we've got a siege tank.
That's easy to repair it, the siege tank.
Oh, and the siege tank very ballsy, moving into range of that lurker, and the Hydra's now coming out and try to snipe it, but they are not really succeeding at the moment, and with limited anti-air, the Overlords see all the mines. This should be interesting. Have we got any more tanks on the way as of yet? No. Going all out economic. So many vultures, and now going for tanks, but oh, the Hydras are moving out, they're breaking out, and the tank is sieging, unsieging, can't make up its mind. It dies to the Hydras, that's not good. And the Hydra's now in control of the exit of the natural.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that there's unbuildable ground close to his natural from the Zerg, because otherwise Ironbot would have been able to place down these turrets a lot closer to the choke point, and he would have been able to get a much better contain.
Okay.
Right now he has to defend.
The Zergling is moving up to the base of the Terran. And oh, there only one siege tank in the middle of the map, and it's going to fall to 4. It's unsieging again. That's really unfortunate. It's really hard to get that unsieging micro correctly first.
Yeah, my bot still suffers from it.
Yeah, the only AI that does that correctly is Crazio, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's so good.
Yeah, it's very lethal, and we now see a large group of Hydra Zerglings and one lurker. Natural, we've got one siege tank out in the middle of nowhere, but now the natural is full of stuff, and although there are some mines in the high ground, I think this is over, because we've got about 20 Hydras in the natural going for the command center, and Zerg seems to be well in control. Now going for more Zerglings, because the ramp will be broken and you need damage to tear things down. Nice spider mine hits, there's a lot of Zerglings, and Zerg morphing a lot of 8 lurkers at once in the rear, in the natural of the Terran, and what can you do at this point?
Well, the funny thing is that I saw Ironbot repairing his spider mine. That's
Really?
one of the things. Yeah, I guess it really was.
Must have missed that. That's so unfortunate.
So
We've got 10. No, we've got those eight lurkers entering the base now, and this is over. So this was the last team with AIs in it in your man versus machine tournament, right?
yeah, but the thing is that I've already promised some show matches to Zach. So it's going to be most likely Cele, but not sure yet. But anyways, some people who played in this tournament are going to take on the much more later versions of this bot, my bots and other bots as well. And we're probably going to cast those as well. So you're going to see the improvements that were made in the meantime, like long after they were already defeated, all these bots. And then you can see if they've improved enough to be able to contest a C- player. Because right now they're more like D+ level for the most part, these bots. As you might be able to see, because Artanis is a C- level player and he can defeat the top bots.
This game,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you can put it on ×2 or 4.
No.
It's going to end pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this was it. The humans knock out the last AI team of the AI tournament, or the Man vs Machine Team League as it's officially called. So I think it's now time to say goodbye as the last turret dies.
Yeah, so we might be able to get some more casts done for the show match games, but for now this is the last game in the tournament itself.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure casting with you. Very interesting games. Okay, well, the replay just ended. I think I'm going to thank the audience. Have you got anything more to say, Martin?
Well, stay tuned for the show match games, because there's been a lot added to my bot in the meantime, and to other bots as well. And maybe with Crazio's permission, I might be able to get Crazio's bots to play against some of these other players as well. So look forward to that.
Should be interesting. Okay, for now, thank you for watching. Come and visit our sponsors. The links are in the descriptions of the video. And if you want to know more about this, check out the channel on which these videos will be posted, and you can learn to play against these bots and watch more of them. And if you're really interested, you can learn to code them yourself.
One more thing, there's also a Facebook group. Just search for BWAPI, BWAPI. There's a Facebook group where you can ask how to set up these bots and get more technical assistance and stuff like that. So if you have problems setting up these bots, you can go to there and ask your questions.
Okay, well, that's a very good pointer. We'll put the link in the description as well. Thank you again for watching, and I say good night.
Yeah, bye.